Hi, I'm Tom Zelenka. Now, I'm just a beginner in the kitchen. In every episode of Carolina Cooking, I meet a different chef from a famous restaurant in the Carolinas who'll teach me to cook their secret recipes in just 30 minutes or less. Really good.
Welcome to Carolina Cooking, shot on location at the Mansion on Forsyth Park and the 700 Kitchen Cooking School. Now, here's your host, Tom Zelenka.
Hi, welcome to Carolina Cooking. I'm your host, Tom Zelenka, and this is the show where we find great chefs from great restaurants all around the Carolinas, and we bring them here to teach us how to cook. And let's say you have a date coming up. She's a vegetarian, you got the champagne, you want to pour a little glass, and you want to make something special for her. Well, we have the recipe for you today. Stuffed tomatoes with couscous and a champagne tomato butter sauce. And to help us make this in 30 minutes or less is Chef Shane Ingram from Foursquare Restaurant in Durham, North Carolina. Foursquare Restaurant. Fantastic restaurant. I appreciate you coming out and helping us out. So, we have the date. We're sweating it because we're going to have to try something new. And we're going to make some tomatoes with couscous. I've never made couscous, to tell you the truth.
Well, you're going to make it today.
Okay. So I'm going to try to make it as pretty as this. Where do I begin?
Okay. Well, can you take the skin off of the tomatoes, Tom?
I guess I could get a peeler and...
Well, let me show you an easy way.
Okay.
All right.
I'll give you one.
Okay. If we take the core out of the tomato and put an X in the bottom of it, and then drop it into this boiling water, we'll be able to pull the skin off easily.
Really?
Yes.
Drop it into boiling water. Doesn't that cook it, or?
Well, it's not going to be in there long enough to cook it.
What does it do?
It loosens the skin from the tomato.
Oh.
So it's pretty quick.
I'm putting an X in the bottom?
Yep.
Just a
It's called scoring the tomato.
Scoring the tomato.
Yes.
So if you're going to score with the ladies, you can score the tomato.
That's right.
Alrighty, can I get mine in there?
Okay, let me.
One at a time kind of bag.
It is a one at a time kind of bag. And I have an ice bath right here set up for it, so I can dump it right in.
Fantastic.
And here's your spoon. Use it to go in there so you don't splash yourself.
Ah, good, good. And how long do you keep them in here? How long does it take?
Well, these nice vine-ripe tomatoes just take maybe 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, so mine's ready to go too?
Just give it a couple seconds. Okay,
10.
ready to go.
All right, and
let me pull this one out. Yep.
Okay. All right, so this is a one tomato bath too. All right.
Okay.
What do I do?
Then we'll bring it back over to the cutting board, and then
we'll save
you are
this
going
for
to.
later.
Good. We'll have that one later.
Okay, great.
Use the edge of your knife to start peeling the skin off.
Oh, all right. From where we made the X mark.
That's right.
Ah, that helps us out a little bit. And go ahead and we'll try the other one. You can show me in case.
Okay.
In case I don't.
So while you're doing that, we're going to stuff these tomatoes. So I'm going to cut the top of it off.
Okay.
And then we're actually going to use the top and the insides of the tomatoes to make a sauce.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're taking all the seeds and the that out. And
this can be a little bit tricky because you want to keep the sides of the tomatoes intact. So the best way that I found out to do it is to actually make another X in the center of it, and then hold the knife at an angle towards in, and you should be able to gently cut out the inside of the tomato.
Okay. And we just chuck that out, or?
Well, we're going to use that in the sauce.
Ah, okay.
To give it some flavor.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we chunk this up, and we're going to throw that in our pot over here?
That's right.
Okay.
And to give it even some more flavor, we're going to put some champagne in it.
Champagne.
We just start right there.
I see. Little champagne. Bubbles. Tiny
And I have some bay leaves and some peppercorns to add to the sauce too. And we're going to let that reduce down.
Peppercorns? And bay leaves.
Yes.
All right, so put a couple of bay leaves in there.
Yes.
And whole peppercorns? Or
whole peppercorns. Yeah, we're going to strain the sauce out so the peppercorns can be whole.
Ah, I gotcha. And then just go ahead and stir it up there with the spoon?
Yeah. Well, actually, we'll just let that cook down for a little bit.
Fantastic.
And in the meantime, we can make the couscous.
Oh, okay. What do we do?
I have a cup of couscous right here, and we're going to need some boiling water to put in with it. So the recipe also calls for a tablespoon of butter, so if you can add this to your couscous.
Okay.
Couscous is actually a pasta. Some may think it's a grain, but actually a pasta.
Really?
Yes.
It's actually a pasta, and then you're going to...
Pour this hot water over it, so go ahead
and the butter, just the butter pad in there?
Yeah, we'll put that down so I don't burn your fingers.
All right.
All right. And now we're going to cover that.
Do we need to stir that?
No, we just need to cover it.
Oh, all right. And how long does it go for?
About 5 minutes.
Okay, all right. Well, I need to practice, peeling out the middle of this tomato. So during the break, I'm going to do that. And then when we come back, we're going to actually be making the stuffing for these tomatoes when Carolina Cooking continues. I nearly got it.
Just grab onto it, pull it down. And
as fast as you are. And then...
Well, I get a lot of practice.
Then I cut off the bottom.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking. I'm here with Chef Shane Ingram of Foursquare Restaurant in Durham, North Carolina. And we are making a stuffed tomato with couscous and champagne tomato butter sauce. And,
right.
and does that need to be stirred?
Well, no, it doesn't need to be stirred. We can just let that reduce down just a little bit more. It's almost there.
Could I stir it if I wanted to?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, that's good. I was just wanted to do something.
Okay.
What makes this Mediterranean couscous? We say it's actually Mediterranean couscous.
Yeah, Mediterranean because of the ingredients that you put in it.
Oh, and which ingredients are Mediterranean?
Well, those would be these right here. The onions and garlic,
Okay.
roasted peppers, olives,
Olives?
and some herbs,
Okay.
and some capers.
What are the red olives?
Those are Kalamata olives.
Okay, if you say so. Calamara.
Kalamata.
I'm not going to attempt it. All right, what do we need to do next? What's our next step here? We got the tomatoes. I was practicing during the thing, and we have to make stuffing.
Okay, let's start with the stuffing.
Okay.
A little bit of oil in the pan, and then you're going to start adding ingredients.
Okay.
Everything but the herbs.
Everything but the herbs up here.
That's right.
So I have a little garlic and a little red onion.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw that in. Ooh, nice sizzle there.
Yeah.
That's always a good sizzle.
And I'm going to move that around while you're pouring ingredients in.
That is a great smell. And these are capers.
They are.
Okay, I recognize those. Not peas. Not peas, but capers.
Yeah.
They're
They're pickled.
Peppery, pickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have what? Yellow?
Yes.
Red? Is this, what's happened to it? Has it already been cooked or?
They've been roasted.
Roasted.
Roasting
Okay.
brings out the sweetness in the
All right.
pepper.
Okay. And you want the olives in here?
Yes.
The green ones and
The Kalamatas.
calamaras.
Close.
Good. And the other ones, the red ones.
Yeah, and then these are going to cook together for a little while. And then we're going to add the herbs. And I can show you a couple of herb cuts right now if you'd like.
Sure, show me some herb cuts.
Okay, I'm going to put a couple
Not
in
to be
front of you.
confused with herb cuts, which is a haircut you can get in that little book there at the barber shop if you sit too long and you...
I'm not real familiar with that, but okay.
Well, that's where I get my haircut from.
Okay, so chives, right from the garden.
Yep.
Just kind of level them up at the bottom. That might take a little while.
Okay. Mine are leveled at the bottom.
Good, and we're going to cut them as thinly as possible, as thin as you can.
I don't know how thin that's going to be.
Yeah, you're doing good. And I also have some parsley that we can cut up.
Alrighty. Now, why are we cutting it so thin?
It's just personal preference, I think.
I gotcha, because you said so. That's
Because
good
I
enough
said
reason.
so.
That's a fantastic reason. Alrighty. How long have you been in business at Foursquare?
Foursquare has been around for 6 years.
Oh, and it's doing well?
It's doing great.
And what do you specialize in? What would
Well,
you call your fare?
I can say that we keep the menu half seafood at all times.
Okay.
The menu changes monthly to keep it seasonal, so we don't really have a signature dish, but we do keep half the menu seafood.
Oh, that's good. You know, every month you can come back by and try something new.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, and some
Parsley.
parsley.
This is Italian parsley.
Okay, and we're going to throw that into the stuffing. You go ahead and chop yours up here.
Okay.
Go ahead. And I'm going to use what you got. We'll use a little more there in the bowl because we've already, television secret, we've already cut a little bit beforehand.
Okay.
And so,
The next step would be to
Couscous?
fluff the couscous. Go ahead, give it a shot.
it's not saying nothing dirty or nothing.
Oh, no. It's okay.
All right.
It's actually just loosening up the grains of couscous and separating them. Yeah, we do it with a fork.
What we call stirring, another.
Or stirring. Okay, and then the couscous goes into the bowl.
Okay. Fantastic.
And right now our vegetables are looking perfect,
Okay.
sautéed, and they're also ready for the bowl.
All right. Let me get the rest of the fluffing going on here. And throw vegetables in.
Okay, and if you'll do me the favor of scooping them in there.
Oh, sure.
You got that? Here,
that
I'll
is
hold and
hot.
you, yeah.
That is very hot. Okay. So the vegetables are going in.
Okay.
Stir those.
Yes, and go ahead and fold it together.
Fold it. Which is not stirring. It's like.
Yeah, folding is a technique usually in baking, but I guess it applies to couscous as well.
Which is like slow stirring is all I can figure.
Well, it's that exact motion that you're doing right there.
Oh, look, I'm a natural. All right. And is that folded enough?
That is folded
okay.
to
Anything
perfection.
Else? Or put them in?
And we can put a little bit of seasoning in it right now and do a little more
seasoning
folding.
Seasoning always means salt and pepper. Anytime
Yes.
they say seasoning, salt and pepper is what they want me to reach for. I got that.
And
now?
A little more folding. And then the couscous is ready for the tomato.
Ooh. And we have 2 tomatoes right here. I practiced during the break, and I got mine all scooped out perfectly. And
Good.
then just...
well, you can do it with a spoon or
can I do
fingers.
it with my hand?
Yeah, go ahead and do it with your fingers.
Right.
Not too hot?
No.
Okay, and then go ahead and pile it up nice and tall.
Alrighty. And I think it looks, see, I'm already adding something to the plate. We could just serve these right now.
Yes,
well,
we
maybe
could.
not. We got to bake them still.
Yeah, we're going
right?
to put them in the oven
Okay.
maybe 5 minutes.
All right, and that's still going good? Doesn't need to be stirred?
and doesn't need to be stirred, but it's just about ready to have the butter whisked into it.
Okay. All right. So when we come back, we're actually going to, let's put these in the oven right now.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get a little, going to put one there. We'll stick these in the oven. I'm getting very eager to talk to Eris right about
Oh, good.
Talk about a little wine, find out which wine would go best with our vegetarian meal here. So during the break, we're going to let those cook, and I'm going to go talk with Eris and find out which wine would be perfectly paired with these tomatoes. When Carolina Cooking continues.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Hi, we're here in the wine cellar at the mansion in Forsyth Park, and I'm here with our wine expert, Eris Ragazeas. And Eris, I've stuffed my first tomato.
You stuffed it well.
Yes, I did. And we got some couscous in there, a little olives. And then we're going to have to finish up the sauce when I get back. But first I wanted to find out which wine you paired with this recipe.
Well, I've got a red wine for this, and I always like red wines with anything that have tomato in them.
Okay.
And the wine I picked is from Austin Hope's winery called Westside Red.
Okay.
And it's an interesting wine, a blend of 3 Rhone Valley grape varieties, Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. And the region that this wine comes from, Paso Robles, is really an up-and-coming new region that is recognized as being a very hospitable place for these Rhone Valley grape varieties.
Can I stop you and
Sure.
just ask you a simple question? Because I saw it's a 2002 and we're opening it up right now. Shouldn't we just let it sit around for 10 years and then we finally pull it out of the dusty cabinet and pop the cork
The
then?
idea that old wines are always better than young wines is one of the great wine fallacies. Most wines are really meant to be drunk fairly young. And there's only a few wines that are really meant to be aged a long period of time. And this particular wine, and I'll explain that in just a little bit, is really meant to be enjoyed in its youthful stage for the ripe, spicy fruit rather than have it aged. Because when it ages, it's usually the fruit that goes, and we want fruit for this wine, for this dish. Now, the Paso Robles region is a very warm region, but it's got some cool breezes coming in off the ocean. And that allows the grapes to retain some acidity. If they stay too hot too long, the acidity in the grape goes down, the wine tastes flabby.
And we do have acidity in this right here, and as we know, tomatoes are a fruit, so would that help complement it?
Well, red wines also have another thing called tannins.
Okay.
And the tannins can give a wine astringency.
Well, wait, what are tannins?
These are chemicals that come from the skins, and since red wines are made by fermenting on the skins, they extract tannins out.
Okay.
And tannins are derivatives of tannic acid. The best analogy I can give you is you take a tea bag and you leave it in the water too long.
Okay.
And it gets to be very astringent, very gritty.
Okay.
That's tannic acid.
All right.
And tannins are a class of compounds. Some are bigger, they polymerize, and they're softer. this particular region is going to give you nice, soft, finely grained tannins that won't interfere with the acidity in the tomato.
Okay.
A softer wine, ripe, juicy, spicy, be perfect with the tomato dish.
Well, I have to get back. I have to finish up my sauce. We have it there on the stove, just the parts of it, and I got to get more stuff in it and get the tomatoes out of the oven. So I'm going to do that when Carolina Cooking continues.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking. I'm your host, Tom Zelenka. I'm here with Shane Ingram from Foursquare Restaurant in Durham, North Carolina. Why'd you pick the name Foursquare?
Foursquare is a style of architecture. It's a Victorian architecture, a central hallway and a room in each corner.
Oh, okay. All right. And so your restaurant's built in a Victorian home?
Yeah, it was built in 1908.
1908. Okay, fantastic. Well, we are still cooking stuffed tomatoes with couscous, and we have the sauce here that we're making, the champagne tomato butter sauce.
That's right.
I guess we have butter here, so I guess we need to put butter in there, huh?
You can see that the liquid is almost evaporated, and that
Okay.
tells you that it's ready to be emulsified with the butter. So
Emulsified, big word. What does that mean? Fat?
brought together.
Okay. All right.
So what you're going to do is add 1 or 2 pats at a time
Okay.
and whisk it in, and the butter should be cold.
The butter is cold. It's
Good.
actually solid, hard, and then whisk.
Yeah, or
And just-
stir it in, and the butter will emulsify and do its thing. And
this will make it the butter champagne sauce. We already have the champagne in here. We have the guts of the tomatoes that we have baking in the oven, and so everything should come together here in the sauce, right?
That's right. That's
All
right.
right. And then we're gonna have to go ahead and put it on the plate, and we have some strange-looking beans here and some tomatoes that I've never seen before.
yeah, those are called sun gold tomatoes.
Are we
They're-
gonna need some of these?
Yeah, we will need some of those cut in half.
Okay, sun gold.
Sun gold.
I'll give you the whisk
Okay.
back. Here, I'll give you another piece of butter.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Another couple of pieces of butter. And just in half with these sun gold tomatoes.
Just in half, yes.
And where do sun gold tomatoes come from?
Use the tip of the knife to get through the skin.
I was gonna say.
If
you know,
you're,
these knives have gotten duller. The tomatoes have gotten a whole lot stronger.
they're ripe. They might be a little bit soft.
Okay.
These are coming from the farmers. The
Farmers.
farmers in Durham.
Okay. Wow, locally grown produce. That's fantastic.
Yes,
So, your wife and you started the restaurant 6 years ago. Is that about right?
that's right.
Okay. And where'd you? What inspired you to decide to do it yourself?
Well, honestly, the money inspired me to do it by myself.
Hey, way to be honest. Way
Yeah.
to be honest. And is it good? Are you enjoying being a restaurateur?
Well, the saying is, love it for 2 and hate it for 3.
How much more butter do we need to?
I'm going to add 1 more pat of butter,
Okay.
and then the butter sauce will be finished and ready to be strained. But if you would squeeze half a lemon into here.
Oh, we can
Whoops.
do that. Half a lemon. Oh, that's normally what I do.
Ooh,
that's
that's
normally
hot,
my
too.
job. Oh, you
Turn
okay?
that- Yes.
All right. Squeeze half a lemon.
Don't do
in
that
there.
at home.
I won't. I won't.
Okay. Okay, and a little salt and pepper.
Okay. Salt is right there. I'll grab our here.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
And then this sauce is going to go through the chinois.
Chinois.
Yes,
What is a
that's the chinois is the fine mesh strainer. But anything that you might have at home to
Oh.
strain it out.
Okay,
just
but
to
it
get
should
the,
be fine.
Just to get the peppercorns out.
All right. And you could just call it a strainer. You don't have to call it a chinois.
No,
at
you
home,
don't
know,
have to call it a chinois.
Because if I call it a chinois at home, they think I'm putting on airs, you know. They'd be like,
Okay.
hey, who do you think you are, fancy boy? That there's a strainer.
All right, there
All
you
right.
have it.
Can I
Champagne
strain-
tomato butter sauce.
Ooh, okay. And so this
Put
is
that
what is going
Oops,
to
sorry.
go on our plate here. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. And are they done?
Let's take a look.
Okay.
Perfect.
Ooh. Nice. Alrighty, I'll close this up for us right here. Okay, so a little sauce. If I'm looking at yours right here, this is the one that Shane made, and I'm going to attempt to copy this. So,
Okay, pour it out,
Pour a little
starting in the center of the plate, and just
Okay.
let it pool out to the sides.
like this. Is this right?
You can swirl or you can just leave it steady.
Okay.
All right.
Now put a tomato on there.
Well, I have these for the garnish on the plate.
Okay. All right.
And you can actually use these to hold the tomatoes in place as well.
Ooh.
Sometimes if the tomatoes aren't so level on the bottom, then you could cut the bottom of the tomato off.
Okay.
Maybe before you stuff them. But these are sitting pretty flat, so
all right.
we didn't
Well,
have to
grab
do
me
that
one.
part. Okay.
And I'll set it on there. Fantastic. And use the
Use
that
the
helps.
spatula.
Ooh, slides right off right there. All right, a couple of the tomatoes, face up, a little pepper, looks like.
And I have a sprig of basil for the
Ooh,
garnish.
Sprig of basil right there. Well, let me get you some of this West Side Red here, which
Great.
should complement the acidity in the tomato. Pour you a little bit right there. There you go.
Thank you.
Taste for you. And here, let me get this for you too as well. A little tomato on
I know.
the right there. That's
Darn it,
usually
I got my
job.
shirt.
Give it a taste here. Give it a smell. I'm going to give this a taste. See how our couscous is. I've been eager to try some couscous. Very good. Very good. To find out more about the recipe, the wine, the West Side Red, or to find out about Shane or his restaurant Foursquare in Durham, visit our website at www.carolinacooking.tv. That's Carolina Cooking. I'm Tom Zelenka.
Thanks for getting the tomato off.
Go to carolinacooking.tv for the recipes featured on this show. Plus, on carolinacooking.tv, you'll find more information on the wines, chefs, and foods of Carolina Cooking. That's carolinacooking.tv.
Carolina Cooking is filmed on location in 700 Kitchen Cooking School at the Mansion on Forsyth Park Hotel in Savannah, Georgia. For details on their hands-on cooking classes, call 888-711-5114 to book a class.